Hey, everybody, welcome to the Hot and Hauter podcast. I'm Arti.
And I'm Dan.
Every episode, I give Dan a recipe and we find out if it's
A success,
or a disaster.
nevertheless, it's bound to be an adventure. Let's get to cooking.
All right.
What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? How was your week?
My week was good. Yeah, just got a lot of stuff done over the weekend. Wore myself out and the kiddo out as well. We were both working in the garage and trying to get, like the not spring cleaning, but fall cleaning.
Yeah. Just trying to get rid of the stuff that's set there.
I got tired of walking over stuff, so I finally cleaned out the garage enough to where I have a path.
Yeah. That happens every couple months.
Yep, every 3 to 4 months you got to do
You get that wild hair and you're like, all right, I'm sick and tired of this garage. I'm going to clean it up.
Yep.
Then like 4 months later, you're like, it's back to how it was.
When your kid struggles to get his own bike out of the garage, okay, you got to have.
Yeah, right.
But Daddy, I want to go riding.
Okay. Is your son's name Hans?
No, I just went with like a Simpson-esque kind of comedic idea there.
Well, I need the chocolates. I need chocolates in my bike. When did you get this accent? What is happening?
He's lost his 2 front teeth.
Oh, nice.
And so we're having fun with the natural speech impediment that comes with that.
Yeah, my youngest that just happened, and they're just now grown in, and they're just cute big buck teeth. They're like just pushing through the gums. I'm like, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
And then in the back of my head, I'm like, and there are braces too. Damn it. Yep.
Well, I think he measured the size of the hole as 3 straws wide because he knew he could get 3 straws across.
Hey, I like that measuring that unit. I'm gonna start using straws. How long is that? About 50 straws.
Yeah.
What?
It works. I like it. So, how was your week, buddy?
It was good. Things are starting to calm down.
I was about to ask, how you getting settled in?
Yeah, just one more week of studying, my exam, and I'll be done. And on to the actual job, and then just hung out, did stuff, did work, prepped for Onigiri.
Oh, nice little deviation into the actual episode. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see, I'm like good at this.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, I'm not. And then just cooked it, and now I'm here to talk to you about it.
Okay. Well, you gave it a name because the recipe list says Japanese rice balls, but you called it something specific. So we did Japanese rice balls. I actually saw this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where I saw it. I saw it, and it was something I said in my head, oh, that looks cool. I brought it up to you. And then a couple short weeks later, we did it. And so Japanese rice balls, or what you called them, were what again?
Onigiri.
Okay. And what is the history of onigiri?
Well, let me tell you. So, onigiri is, as you said, Japanese rice balls. And it dates back to at least 2,000 years ago. So the oldest onigiri found is dated from 2,000 years ago. It was excavated from the Ishikawa prefect, which is towards the south of Japan. And that was done in 1987. It had been buried because of that, it had become carbonized. So it was just like a black rock. But the individuals who found it could tell what it was because of its shape. But also, even after 2,000 years, it had the fingerprints of where they held it. Like,
hold on, they found a fossilized rice ball.
They did.
What?
Pretty cool. So, and that was carbonated back to 2,000 years. So it at least goes back that long, but clearly longer because it was a well-preserved rice ball.
Sure. I guess they probably would have worked on perfecting sure. Okay.
Yeah. So the onigiri of today, the rice balls, they actually originate from, and I'm going to say it wrong. You know the deal, everybody.
Yeah.
The Heian period, which was 794 to 1192. And back then it was called Tonjiki. And the reason, or what some theorize the reason that they were named that then, is that they actually looked like rice balls. They were shaped like eggs. So that's where that name comes from.
Okay.
Them being shaped like eggs. And then during the Genroku period, which is 1688 to 1704, nori seaweed finally became accessible to the masses. Before that, it was a higher caste food because it was hard to harvest. You had to go get it from the ocean and such. So common people didn't have access to it. So at that point, everyone has access to it, and then they start wrapping their rice balls in the nori, which then just carried on, and that leads to the onigiri that you see now, which is the rice balls with the nori, and depending what you're into, they can be filled with a bunch of things. Some are filled with salmon, tuna. Some are filled with pickled plum, and there are ones filled with like dessert type things, like sweets, like fruit and stuff. So
yeah, I could see this definitely. That's something that I noticed was the flavor profile of rice is really dependent on what you season it with. So you could go sweet with this,
especially this rice, this white rice.
Yeah.
And then onigiri is ubiquitous with like snack and lunch food in Japan. It's everywhere. It's in all the markets, vending machines. You can get it everywhere. So
really, this is like a candy bar to them.
Not a candy bar. It's like a hot dog to how a hot dog is to New Yorkers. This is that to Japan, to the Japanese.
Interesting. So you could like pick one of these up for lunch or a couple of these up for lunch, and that's cool. Okay,
100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's onigiri.
Did you come across any variants with how it might be cooked after the rice has been finished? Like after the rice has been cooked and the balls have been made, have you seen any variances of like maybe cooking or searing or anything like that?
Yeah. There's ones where individuals will like fry it, so then I have like a fried texture on the outside. But that's like that or the standards. Essentially steamed rice.
And you said some of the components that go into it. What about some of the things you might like serve alongside it or maybe dip or whatever?
Usually it is what it is. Like this is the food. It's the rice ball is the food. Usually what goes along with it is put inside it.
Okay.
But I'm sure they would, soy sauce. You could do like a spicy mayo, like I do in the recipe. I'm sure there's a plethora of different dips and things that would go with it. But that's probably highly dependent on the region and also what the person's into. So
sure. So this is a Japanese dish. There's a lot of countries over there that utilize rice as one of their primary bases to food.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's variants of these, but this can be traced back to Japan itself.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, the tools and the recipe that you have here are pretty straightforward. I'll let you kind of go more in detail with the different variances in which you can procure rice and cook it. But yeah, the ingredients list basically we've got 2 cups of Japanese short grain rice.
Yes.
Koshihikari kari or nishiki rice. I only found the nishiki rice. I couldn't find the first one.
Yeah, the first one is the only place I could find it was online. But I'm sure if you have an Asian market where you live, you can probably find it there. But yeah, either one of those. It's the short fat rice that are white. The white short fat rice.
Okay.
Might as well call it
what it is. Yeah, sure. Yeah. See, we do have an Asian market, and I've utilized it before. I think when we did soup dumplings. But this time I went in there and I spent 20 minutes looking for rice. My son was with me. We're going up and down the aisles. I went there for the special seasoning that you have, and then I went there for the rice itself because again, it was a specific listed type of rice, and I couldn't find it until I realized that in one of the back corners they sell the rice, but they sell it in bulk. Yeah. And you go back there and you buy a sack of rice. You don't buy like a little, 32-ounce bag of rice. You buy a thing that you need. You load it up on your
Yeah.
mule out in the
Yep.
in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to spend $60 on a bag of rice if I only need 2 cups. So I eventually found the nishiki in a more, I think it was a 2-pound bag or something, or a
Yeah.
pound
Yeah.
bag at the grocery store. So, but I did get some nori while I was there, which is
Hmm.
seaweed. Never
Yep.
had that before. Opened it
Yeah.
up and immediately smelled fish food. And that's exactly what it smelled like to me.
I mean, yeah.
And then the furikake, I'm not sure how to say that, but that's a
It is.
seasoning.
It's furikake.
Furikake. Okay. Well, I did look it up, and it's one of a multitude
Hmm.
of seasonings that people add to rices, as
Yeah.
well as even different variants of varieties of these Japanese rice balls.
Yeah.
But everything else I was able to find at my local grocery store. Kewpie mayo,
QP.
Kew Kewpie, okay,
Hmm.
Kewpie mayo, some sriracha, sesame oil, and then
Hmm.
mirin, I believe is what it's called.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you got there. You got, some water for the rice, and then all those other items that I listed. Pretty straightforward. You may have to I don't speak any Oriental languages or read any Oriental script, so I had to literally show up my phone to a guy. I was like, I need this, please, if you can help me find it. And he
Hmm.
led me to it, and I found the seasoning. But other than that, pretty straightforward. Um, the tools I want to get into, and I want you to kind of jump in here. I've never worked with an Instapot or a rice
Hmm.
cooker. Any
Hmm.
rice that I've cooked has come from HelloFresh, and it has been just maybe a cup's worth, and it's done in an open pot.
Hmm.
And then, you cover it, let it steam itself, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, we actually had a Ninja instant cooker.
Okay.
Never used it before.
Hmm.
I had no idea. And this thing blew my mind how fast it could cook rice.
Right.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
I spent longer waiting for it to cool off enough for me to get in there.
Yep.
And it blew my mind, the science of how this worked. I went into a YouTube rabbit hole of the science behind pressure cooking, and
Hmm.
that was really cool. But yeah, and I may not cook rice the same ever again. It was so
You're
cool.
welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. But yeah, it made great rice. And you said it was short grain, but
Hmm.
when these things were fully saturated and they came out of the cooker, they were honking rice. They were
Well,
pretty
yeah,
big.
yeah. All rice gets bigger when it
Yes.
absorbs moisture, but so they're short grain because in the beginning, if you get one of these and compare it to brown rice or jasmine,
Yes.
jasmine is like double its length. It's a
Okay.
lot longer than this. So that's a short grain, and then jasmine would be like a long grain rice or medium
So
grain rice.
again, not used to this, and I think
Hmm.
most of what I've dealt with the rice from HelloFresh was jasmine, but
Hmm.
that seemed skinnier. It seemed long.
Yes, it
Maybe
is.
it,
It
it was
is.
skinnier. This is more plump
Yes, they
rice.
are. Hmm.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Another thing I'd learned about rice was how much you have to wash them. I never knew
Yeah.
that. When you buy
Yep.
bulk like that, how dirty rice is.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that. And every
Yeah.
every video I watched, they were like, "Please wash your rice. Please wash your
Yeah.
rice," because apparently,
So, so there's a couple reasons to washing your rice. So,
okay,
whenever it's milled, um, which is it's taking the husk off the rice.
okay,
When rice is harvested, it has a husk. Um, so that's removed, but in that process, it gets dirty and dusty, and they don't, they can't wash it and then set it off because then it would mold and all that stuff in
sure,
packaging. So you get husk rice, and it's dirty. Um, so you have to wash it. And also in washing it, you kind of remove a little bit of the outer starchy layer, which allows rice to cook better, so it doesn't clump together as much. So
interesting.
it's like a twofold process. You're getting rid of the dirtiness on it, and you're kind of helping remove that outer like powdery starchy layer that is a result of the milling process.
That's
So
interesting. You gave some really thorough instructions on how to wash, and then my subsequent research again, they say wash it, use cold water here, let
mhm,
it sit, or do
yeah,
this, keep draining it until the water's clearer, and just all these things that were
yeah,
just I never knew.
Yeah.
Because the rice that they give us in the HelloFresh, I know I keep talking about them. Please sponsor us.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Right. Come on.
they I guess it's pre-washed, or it's in a short form package to where
Yeah.
it's designed to be
Yeah. It's
cooked
prepped for
sooner.
you. Yeah. It's prepped
Yes.
for you.
Okay. Well, because they never said to wash it in those
No.
recipes, and I just assumed that rice comes ready to go. It does not.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. Okay. So anyway, so back to you. You gave 3 different set of instructions for how
Hmm.
you cook the rice. I went
Yes.
with the Instapot version,
Hmm.
and I have done the open pot before. What did you do, and why, and how, or what's better? All those about cooking rice.
I mean, if you want the quote unquote best way,
Hmm.
it's a rice cooker. But then you have to buy a rice cooker.
Okay.
And to get a decent rice cooker, you're looking at like 140, $50.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In a Japanese household, it's like a toaster. Everyone
I,
has them.
I mean, that
So
makes sense, but how does it? Can you explain to me why it's better? Like, what is so special about a rice cooker versus maybe an Instapot?
it's the way they cook the rice is they steam it,
Okay.
which is supposed to be a better process for cooking the rice for the end product. Eh, I think it's if you just cook rice correctly, it's going to be good no matter how you make it.
Sure.
So I don't think it's necessary. If you want to go spend the money, go ahead, do it. You go buy yourself a rice cooker. You can buy the ones that sing to you when they're done. It's pretty cool. um, but I just did the classic water rice pot.
Okay.
The reason I did that because I wanted to do it. I try and do all the cooking processes we do the hardest way.
Oh, okay.
So which it's not hard. I mean, it's
No,
rice, water, boil, put it on low, cover, give it 10, 15. You
mhm.
have rice. Cooking rice isn't that hard. But I put the other ways there just in case anybody wanted to not deal with boiling rice, and that's okay. So
Okay.
I put the Instapot, and then also, which is Instapot's a pressure cooker, so same thing.
Yeah.
And then the classic water in a pot. And then your rice cooker is just whatever the rice cooker tells you to do. So
Do they vary from time to time, or are
I
they
don't think so, but I mean, if
are
you
they
own a rice cooker, I don't need to be telling you how to use it.
Okay, that's
If
true.
if you're at the level of rice making where you have a rice maker, I'll let you do you.
That's fair. For me, who's naive, what would the base instructions be for a rice cooker?
Um, I don't know. I don't own one, but
Oh, you're not privy to that
no,
information.
because I never was like, all right, I'm gonna drop 150 on this device that does one thing.
Okay,
I'm
that's
like,
fair.
I'm good.
That's fair.
But since it steams, I'm pretty sure there's a reservoir where you put the water in, which is under the rice, and the rice goes in a basket and it
Hmm.
steams it. So you close it, turn on, and then it steams it. So it
Okay.
steams the rice.
I'm assuming it would be longer than the 2 minutes on the pressure cooker.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It'd probably be closer to I think it's about 10 to 15, like making it in a pot, but you don't have to watch it, type of deal.
See, now I'm intrigued. I want to know. I kind of want to. I've eaten enough from the pot. I
Hmm.
wanted to, I was blown away, and the rice was totally fine from the pressure cooker.
Hmm.
Now I kind of want to, taste the rainbow here.
Yeah.
See,
The next episode,
no,
all
well,
the rice you can eat.
I don't know if I want to go out and drop $150 on a rice cooker,
Yeah,
but
no.
anyway, yeah. So there's a couple set of instructions there depending on your process. But once you get to the end, you fluff the rice,
Mhm.
and you mix in the furikake.
There you go.
Okay. Which is the seasoning. It
Yes.
gives it a little bit of color too, because there's some like
Hmm.
specks, almost like pepper or
Yeah.
green little green things in there.
Hmm.
And then here I did some of them with the nori, the seaweed, and
Hmm.
then some of them without,
Yeah.
because I actually took it to the next level and I actually grilled a couple of these.
Nice, dude. Good job.
I did, and I made some tuna filling.
Good job. I
So,
love it.
because I love rice, but I
Yeah.
love rice soup with a little bit more protein,
Hmm.
and I wanted it to. It was fine. It was a
Yeah.
great sticky rice. It was
Yeah.
really good. But I wanted some more sustenance, some protein with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I just went out and I added just one regular can of tuna fish.
Mhm.
And I saw a video where a lady kind of like smushed it enough to where it was almost paste like, not all
Yeah,
the way. There was still some
yeah,
texture, but almost paste like.
yeah.
Basically, break down all the big chunks of tuna,
Mhm.
put in some of that mayonnaise,
Yep.
a little. So I think it was a tablespoon of that same mayonnaise that we already had,
Mhm.
and then a teaspoon of soy sauce, and
Yeah,
just kind of mix that around. And then that was your filling, and you took
yeah.
like a spoon of it, and whenever you were doing the ball rolling part,
Mhm.
and so that was cool.
Yeah.
One thing she did say, and I should pass it on to any of our listeners, is if you do put a filling in it, be careful of how hot your rice is when you're making the balls because it
Yes.
may break down the contents of the filling.
Yeah,
Um,
you want your rice to be touchable. Like, you wanna be able to hold
yes.
your rice like, lukewarm to even cold,
Mhm.
um, because it's gonna stick together and mold better.
Yes.
Um, just think of, like, if you were to pick up a hot cookie fresh out the oven,
Yeah,
it
it would.
will
Yeah.
fall apart.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Okay.
You wanna let the rice cool, which I'll throw I need to throw that in the actual recipe as well. But yeah,
Well,
let it cool. I mean,
I know I'm the idiot of this podcast, but even I would hope people go, "Ow, too hot, still touch. Ow, too hot, still touch."
well,
Ow.
well, yes, they know, but I mean, when you're trying to form it, you
Sure.
want it cool because trying to form even warm rice
Yeah.
is a pain. It does
Well,
not form.
this is the guy who burned himself trying to make an empanada, so I totally understand.
That's true.
But, yeah, so, I did make and it was super easy. You just tuna, mash it, mayonnaise, a little
Hmm.
bit of soy sauce, and then set it aside ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you also did include in this recipe, like you said earlier, a spicy mayo,
Hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of like maybe a drizzle or like a dipping. What was your purpose of that?
You can dip it in, drizzle it on. I also did the tuna.
Nice.
So I mixed it in with my tuna. That's what I do with it. But yeah,
Okay.
it's just like it's just good to have. Like, you want to dip it in, it's good. So yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. People like sauces. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a sauce boy. I like to dip things in sauce.
Well,
So
and this has like kind of a more like neutral base flavor. You want
yeah,
something that has a little tang that kind of
yeah,
makes it pop. I can see that. And
yeah.
I've always enjoyed like everybody throws a lot of sodium in their Asian food.
Oh yeah.
It just helps it kind of. So this is another prime example of that. Um but yeah, the basic recipe here doesn't include the tuna, doesn't include any extra cooking because I
Hmm.
did fry mine for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, the bait and you take a small strip of seaweed. I think you
Hmm.
said about an inch wide and a couple inches long, 3 or 4.
Yep.
And you almost it, when thought of it was it looked like a little tuxedo shirt for it. You know, it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
sat there in the bottom,
Yeah.
and
You're
and
making it fancy,
you're taking it to church, baby.
right?
But but the thing is that's I couldn't really taste the seaweed. I mean, it was there, but it didn't
Yeah.
really stand out. It almost looked
It's
like it
it's
was more cosmetic.
it is. It's
Okay.
think of it as like a handle for it.
Okay, that makes sense 'cause okay. It's
Yeah.
the taco shell. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, and the alternate way to do it is a lot of people will actually wrap the whole thing in seaweed,
Okay.
so you can do that too. I just like the little strip.
I did see that because I also saw
Hmm.
something where if you have different fillings, you put a little drop of the filling on the top
Yep.
so it identifies what's in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. The other thing that I added besides the filling was I wanted a more crispier outside. I thought it would
Hmm.
be cool to have a little bit harder shell,
Yeah.
something a little bit more texture.
Hmm.
And so I saw one person kind of fry it. He put some oil in a pan
Yeah.
and then he would set it there. Um, it got sticky to the bottom of the pan. How would you combat that?
Um. So, in order to prevent anything from sticking when you're cooking, you need either enough fat so it doesn't do that,
Okay.
and enough heat. So it's got to be hot enough so that
Mm.
it fries it quick, and then that stops it from sticking.
Okay. Because I guess maybe it was heat. I mean I had about half a centimeter's depth of vegetable oil in there.
Hmm.
You know, to kind
That should
of
have been enough oil. I mean, you probably would want to pump it up to like medium high heat.
okay. Okay, cool. Because I kind of wanted some texture, and I even saw one guy take a torch, and he just kind of
Oh yeah, dude,
he colored the side.
that's the next thing I'm gonna buy for myself is a hand torch.
Really? I
Yeah,
have
dude, I love them.
when I was a band director, I had one because sometimes you would need heat sources
Uh-huh.
for fixing, like shellac or something on a pad
Mm-hmm.
or of a clarinet or something. But I
Mm-hmm.
have a small little butane one, but it's nothing. It's
Yeah.
not like your full on, you know, creme brulee going to
Yeah.
town kind of
Yeah.
situation.
That's the one I
So
want.
yeah, I need to get one of those then. I just
They're
want to
fun to
play with
have,
fire.
and
Yeah.
like they're so useful. You don't think they are, but you like creme brulee. You want to just put a quick like caramelization on the top of something or outside of something.
Sure.
Hand torch. You don't gotta worry about putting it in the oven or like doing it in a pan or on a fire. Um, Peppers. You ever want to blacken some peppers? That's
Mm,
all you need. I mean, it's a good tool. It's a very good tool
cool.
to have.
Well, that was pretty much it. We ate them. The kid liked his. He didn't really want to try some with the tuna, but he liked it
Mm-hmm.
with the soy sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And he says yields about 8. I think I made
Yeah.
about a dozen.
Yeah.
Of course, my kid made a couple, so his hands are smaller than mine, so I don't think
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
used as much. But yeah, it was good. Filled you up. These were
Yeah.
very filling,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd definitely do these again. These are fun. I could see taking these to parties and stuff.
Oh, 100%. And the cool thing is, they're just easy to make. It's not
Yeah.
complicated. If, like I said, if you don't want to deal with the rice, Instapot. Or you
Mhm.
know what? If you want to drop a dime, go buy a rice cooker.
Yeah.
If you eat enough rice, it's worth it, I guess.
Sure.
But
These are I thought about doing these for dinner. I was like, dude, I can make these for lunch. They're so quick.
yeah. Well, and the thing is, you can make them ahead of time and just have them there waiting.
Yes.
They're literally in markets. It's like, which not everyone does, but you go to a decent market and they have the pre-made sandwiches you can just grab.
Mhm.
This is the same thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's that same concept.
What do you think their shelf life is in the fridge? Like, if I made a dozen today, we ate
Mm-hmm.
about 6 or 7 between all of us.
Mm-hmm.
How long could I get longevity-wise, could I get out of these?
Probably like a week
Okay,
because it's rice, so as long as it's sealed properly, it won't get funky, and like you probably got a week out of it.
cool. Well, good. I mean, I plan on snacking on these. So, but
Yeah,
how did yours go? You kinda deviated from your plan? Let me hear about it.
yeah. So, good. The rice, I did the pot and water classic. I actually went and bought this cute little Dutch oven because I have a big one, but I wanted to get a small one. It's a little cute little red one. So I used that. But yeah, just water, did the thing, cooked it up. Once it was done, I left the lid on for 10 minutes because you want that rice to fully finish, and by letting it steam inside its own, steam. Okay, that
Nailed
was
it.
a weird.
Sometimes I like to steam inside my own steam.
Hey, I'll just steam in my own steam. It's a good steamy steam when you steam in your own steam.
Yeah, man. Steam it up.
How many times can we say steam in this steamy podcast? And that's when they stop listening at the 30th steam.
It's fine.
So yeah, so then you do that. You remove it from the heat and let it steam with the lid on. And while that was doing its thing, I made my mayo, mixed it with my tuna, cut up my nori to little strips, and then remove the lid, let the rice cool so I can actually touch it.
Mhm.
And then because I didn't want to form it with my hands because I didn't think it would go well. So
I'm supposed to be the pessimistic one.
I got in creative and I went and bought a cookie cutter. Couldn't find a triangle cookie cutter to save my life for some
Okay.
reason. So I bought a wedding dress cookie cutter because it was vaguely in the shape of a triangle. And then I proceeded to mangle it into a triangle, and it turned out looking like a ghost. So, I went off book here, and I made little ghosts. So, but yeah, did the thing. stuff the tuna and the ghost.
Tell me you got quality footage of this,
Yeah,
please.
yeah,
Yes.
I do. Not me mangling the cookie cutter, but you'll see me using it.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And I even like show the picture of it. Anyways,
The hand formation is not hard. It really isn't. It just comes together. It's totally normal.
I just got lazy. I was like, I don't want to get my hands dirty.
You worked harder on the cookie cutter.
I've been, I still have rice. Maybe I'll just go and form one by hand anyways. God, it's a show that I should do it too.
I'm the one that's supposed to make things more challenging for myself, Artie. What are you doing? You're taking my spot.
It wasn't more challenging. I went a little arts and crafts on it.
Okay.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
But yeah. So did that, made them, and they were delicious. They're just tasty little nom noms.
Yeah.
Oh. It's raining here.
Oh, I don't hear it.
Oh, no, it's just like it's raining here finally. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, break your heats. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did everybody eat them? Did kids like them?
Well, I just cooked them today.
Oh, okay.
So, not yet. I had one and it was delicious. And I'm sure it's rice. They're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
Soy sauce on it, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, yummy," and they'll eat it, and then say they're hungry an hour later.
Did you make all of them with filling, or just some of them?
All of them.
Okay.
All filling. Well, no. I think there's a couple because I didn't make. I just used one can of tuna, so no, not all of them. I think I got like three or four of them that had filling, and I ate one of the ones with filling because it's delicious.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They were really good.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Go ahead.
It was fun. It was fun to do this one. This is a fun recipe to make.
I forgot to water my hands on the first one. And it was a very clingy rice ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need moist hands to make sure you're handling these rice balls because they will not let go.
You should always moisten your hands when handling the balls.
And that's where we lose a lot of listeners. All right, fantastic. But yeah,
rice
it
balls,
was
weirdo. God.
It was surprisingly. I get a kick out of those little things that just make a big difference. And one thing I did do differently was one of the ladies said, put once you wet your hands, put like a finger in a pile of salt.
Yeah.
And then rub the salt onto your hands with the water, and it kind of adds a little extra flavor.
Yeah. I just I just made salt water.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought
if you don't want to do no, you were. I just didn't want to do two movements. So
but you wanted to take a cookie cutter and turn it into a triangle.
Listen, I do things my way, and it's a fantastic way.
No, I'm relishing the fact that I'm getting more comfortable with the processes. So and I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it's good.
It is good. No,
I am
these are great.
Surprised you fried them and you went off book.
I mean, it felt like a natural step for these. I think the ones that I saw when I originally brought these to you were fried because they had that darkened blackish texture, brownish blackish texture on the outside. And so in my mind, I was already doing it because I anticipated that would have been the step. I didn't see that in here. So I went ahead and did just a couple extra steps, and people said, yeah, you can put them in some oil and then even drizzle some soy sauce on them while they're cooking so that it kind of cooks into the side. Be careful because when you add cold soy sauce to hot oil, things get a little exciting.
How about you just don't do it and either dip it in soy sauce or add the soy sauce with oil at the same time, not when it's cold.
Well, I mean, that's off the book and lost a couple hairs on my hand too. It's fine.
Just a good note of warning. When you add cold liquids to oil, you can start a fire.
Yes. Yep. Which is which is probably why it's good it wasn't as hot as it should have been to accomplish the task
There
at the
you go.
beginning. So,
See? That's
so
okay then.
someone up there is looking down, making sure I'm not
Right.
burning my house down for a podcast. So,
And also, if that does happen, have flour on hand. You can smother a fire with flour.
yeah.
So,
Well, turn off the heat source too, if you can.
yes. Oh yeah, always. No, turn the heat source up. No, don't do that, please. Please.
There's a fire. Just throw flour. It's fine. But it keeps
put
coming
flour on
back.
Well, the flour's lazy.
All right. Well, yeah, pretty straightforward dish. Really good. I would say if you're curious at all, do this. This is a fun little recipe. It's easy to get into. The hardest thing for me to find was the spices, and it was just because I wanted to get as to the book as what you had.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just rice seasoning, so whatever you want to put in there, and just have fun with it. Because I immediately thought of my kid helping, him helping me make rice balls, and it was a good time. It was a really good time.
And you can go on to Amazon or any store really, but specifically Amazon, and you can get all these cool little fun molds.
Oh.
So that you can like make it fun if you want your kids to do it with you. Like there's like little lion faces and hearts and things like that.
Sure.
You just make it fun. And then you can, I mean, this is a thing where you can kind of do whatever you want. It's just rice.
Yeah.
If you want to make it sweet, once it's done and cooled, do a little sugar in there, mix it in there instead of salt. And you got a sweet treat. It's rice takes on whatever flavor you give it. So, get creative. Do something weird, do something crazy.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, definitely. And like I said earlier, this is something you could share with a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
Take it to a party.
Yeah.
Put it out on the table for gatherings. It's good. Really good.
It's tasty.
Okay. Well, that's all I got, man. That was a cool one.
Yeah, it was fun. So I guess this is where we tell you where to find us.
Oh, do your thing.
I will. Social media. That's where you'll find us. We are Hot and Hauter. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Our video podcast is on YouTube, our Hot and Hauter channel. And then we short form's gonna start rolling out. I'm gonna start making more of those videos because I have a bunch of backlog. So we'll start getting more of that stuff out there. And then our website, hotandhauter.com, has our recipes, and you can listen to our audio podcasts there. And then you can get the audio version everywhere you get your podcasts. So we are everywhere.
And we are open to any community input, recipes, ideas, anything that you want to throw our way. As long as it's constructive, we will definitely entertain it. And you can reach us at any of those social medias. We even have Hot and Hauter at hotmail.com. And, you can, or not Hotmail, Jesus, what is this, 1989? What, or 1998? What,
dude, no joke.
You can find us on Netscape, but no, we're at Gmail.
At hotmail.com.
I know that would have been a really good one.
Oh,
maybe that's why I was stuck on that. But at gmail.com, hotandhauter at gmail.com. And we'd love to get your input, your feedback, anything that you'd like to add. Again, constructive, please.
Yeah.
And
slide into those DMs. Send us a message.
We're pardon the pun, cooking up a couple different community recipes as we are moving into the fall season. And
that is true.
And also another thing is if you have any seasonal specific ones, I know when we get closer to the holiday seasons, people have a lot of familial dishes that they do maybe around Thanksgiving or Christmas, and we'd definitely be interested to try those. Anything and everything. So, but yeah, we'd love to hear you.
Yep, send them.
All right, man. That's all I got.
All right, dude. Well, keep cooking, y'all. Bye.
See ya.